Hey everyone, it's Brittany. I haven't made a video about my OCD in a really long time. Since my last video, I have gotten married, so that's pretty exciting. Marriage has definitely put me at front and center with my OCD. For those of you that don't know, I suffer from relationship OCD. I'd have to say it's probably the most painful thing I've had to deal with my entire life. I've been dealing with it for 10 years now, and it is something that haunts me in my day-to-day life. Having a day where my intrusive thoughts aren't going through my head 24/7 is a blessing, but I am now facing my OCD, and I just wanted to talk about some things that I'm doing to live with it comfortably. I'm definitely nowhere near where I want to be, that's for sure. But for the longest time, I was so focused on the relationship part, not the OCD part. And I'm learning that I have to flip that thought process around in order to make any progress. Otherwise, I'm just living in a world full of doubt and uncertainty and anxiety, and it's awful. It's really awful. There have been days where I've thought about ending my own life. It's been that bad. So I'm not proud of that, but if you have OCD, I know that you can relate to that. So, one thing I wanted to say real quick, I wrote it down today. I had a thought today that popped in my head, and I actually wanted, when I had some clarity, is if I thought that the world was going to end tomorrow, that doesn't mean the world's going to end tomorrow, right? That same thought process goes with anything else. So that's the same as if I think whatever intrusive thought under the sun, such as some people have trouble finding their partner attractive, so my partner's not attractive enough, or I don't love my partner, or my partner doesn't love me, or my relationship's doomed, or if I don't wash my hands this many times, I'm going to die from contamination. Luckily, I don't suffer from that one. Then that doesn't make that thought true either. It's the same process. So if I have the thought that the world's going to end, does that mean the world's going to end? No. Same concept as if I think blah, 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 whatever intrusive thought it is under the sun, does that mean that that's true? No. So that's something that has helped me. Also, a fellow rOCD sufferer that I have met told me to focus on mindfulness, and I really have put that to the side. And today I focused on mindfulness all day long. My house was a mess, and I knew that I had to clean it. The OCD me wants to stay in bed all day and obsess over thoughts and try to figure something out in my head. And after 10 years of doing that, I've realized I'm not going to figure it out. After several failed relationships, none of my relationships have really ended because of OCD, ironically. It was always something else, but I think one thing that you learn with OCD, when you have OCD, specifically rOCD, is when you're in a relationship, and if you've been in several relationships and you always end up getting to the point where you're stuck in your intrusive thoughts, doubting your relationship, doubting the certainty of your relationship, the certainty of your love, or whatever it may be, if you've been through several relationships and that's followed you to where it's been in your everyday life for the most part, then that's a pretty clear indicator that no matter what relationship you're in, it's going to be there. It doesn't matter who it is. It's a you problem, honey. So, when I got into my relationship with my husband, the as soon as I got into the relationship, I was kind of like, ugh, here it goes. I'm going to have to go through this OCD crap again. And it's really been a blessing for me because I have to work on myself. I've been through enough now that I know that it's not him. It's definitely what's going on in my brain. I don't know. My forehead looks huge with my hair up like this today, but I don't care. Anyway, yeah, so I've known that it was something that isn't myself and not him. Has nothing to do with him. I just want to say that if you're somebody that suffers from this, you're not alone. I know how painful it is. Like, I could start crying right now because I know how painful it is. It's taken over my life quite a bit. So, I've made a commitment to myself, to my husband, to my son, to everybody I love, that I'm going to practice mindfulness all day, every day. I'm going to be exercising every day. That allows happy chemicals to go through your brain, gets rid of the cortisol. I'm going to be eating healthy every day. That's really important for me. And that I do not have rOCD, I have OCD. That takes the focus off of your relationship and puts it on OCD. I'm learning that the more I focus on learning about OCD and what it takes to recover from OCD instead of rOCD, there's a lot more room for growth than rOCD. rOCD, focusing on that is just hell. So I know I kind of went all over the place with that, but I wanted to put a video on today and just let everybody know where I'm at right now and keep fighting.